In this video we continue to look at writing Plagal cadences, only now we're given just the soprano line, or the melody. And we have to imply what the harmony is below it, but again we're told that it's a Plagal cadence, so we know that one of the chords will be the subdominant triad, and one of the chords will be the tonic triad. So I have my staff below so we can kind of work through this. Our key signature of 1 flat could be F major, and if it was F major, the tonic triad would be F, A, C, and the subdominant triad would be B flat, D, F. And it turns out that this B flat, could be part of that subdominant triad, and this A could be part of that tonic triad. However, it's not quite so simple. You have a little bit of choice here, because if this was, instead of F major, if this was D minor, the tonic triad would be D, F, A. That's our tonic chord. And the subdominant would be G, B flat, D. That would be our subdominant chord. And it turns out this B flat could be part of the subdominant, and this A could be part of the tonic. So either way, we could have some kind of a Plagal cadence. And I honestly it doesn't matter, but let's go ahead and write this one in minor. So first let me clear my ink here and get rid of the staff below, which helps us, but hopefully you're starting to do more of that in your head, and we can just go ahead and write it right on the assignment. Okay, so we said we're going to go with D minor, and this will be our 4 chord with a root of G. That's the G chord, and this will be our tonic chord with a root of D. And then we just have to part write it. Well, let's double the tenor and bass. The only other note we need is a D. Now I'm going kind of fast, but we've done this enough that I'm hoping that in your mind's eye you've got those notes G, B flat, D spelled very fast. You know you need 2 G's, so we did that right here, 2 G's, and then the remaining B flat and D we did here and here. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of the tonic chord, and we could do the maintain a common tone. That would be the D, and then we move the other 2 by step, which means we'd move down to F. Now I just created a cross voicing actually right here. This is a no-no. We don't want to have the tenor going below the bass voice. So that actually is not going to be our best plan. Let me back up and we'll do one of the other ways. And let's try this. Let's say, by the way, the notes we need are D, F, and A. We've got a D here, we've got an A here, so we do need another D, and then we need an F. So if I have the alto go up to the F and the tenor go up to the D, I can get what I want. We haven't actually seen this part writing scheme before, where 1 voice goes down and 2 go up, but it turns out there's really nothing wrong with it. The leap of the 5th isn't too large of a singable interval, so we're okay with that. But honestly, sometimes the best thing to do is just to go back to the first chord and just rewrite it. So I'm going to, if you wanted to have a better position, I'm going to go ahead and just rewrite or revoice that first chord, where instead of doubling the bass, I'm going to bring my tenor up a little bit higher. Let me get the D minor, the D root there back. Okay, so let's try this. Let's do the doubling in the alto, which means the D would be here, right? G, B flat, D. Now my 2 G's are there. And in this case, if I have them all go down to the next available chord tone, I'm sorry, maintain a common tone, the D, and then move the other 2 down by step, we have great voice leading there. That works out really well. So I think that's probably our best bet for this D minor example. So it really has to do with taking the time to go back and redo this voicing for the first chord, although the example that I started with really wasn't bad. It just wasn't one of the 2 procedures we've been talking about. All right, for this next one with 4 sharps, let's just expedite things and go with E major, which is the major key that has 4 sharps, and just make sure our soprano line works out. The tonic chord would include this G sharp, because the tonic is spelled E, G sharp, B, and the so I'll make that our tonic chord with E in the bass. And then the subdominant chord would include this A here, and that's spelled A, C sharp, E. And so we'll put the A in the bass right here. Alrighty. It turns out we've got our doubling already taken care of. There's an A, there's an A. So we do need a C sharp and an E. Let's put the C sharp up here in the tenor and the E here in the alto. And just looking at, as we go to the next chord, if we keep the E in the alto, that would be an example of maintaining a common tone. The soprano goes down by step, and if we just have the tenor go down by step, it'll be on the B. And then we do have the right doubling. We have two E's. There's one, and then there's our two E's. Right, then we have a G sharp, and then we have a B. So it turns out this can be done very nicely with that maintain the common tone, move the other two by step. Lastly, I'd like to examine what kind of cadences we have here. So let me just clean this up a little bit. And we're going to look at those 3 points, the bass of the both triads and then the soprano of the last triad, see whether we have perfect or imperfect. Well, in this first chord, we do have the root of the G minor chord, and we have the root of the D minor chord, but we do not have the root of the D minor chord here. So this would be an imperfect plagal. This example, we have the root of the, I forgot my Roman numerals. We do have the root of the major subdominant, the A chord, and we do have the root, this is a major chord, not minor by the way, of the tonic triad. So we've got 2 roots, but this is not the root of the tonic chord. It's not an E, it's a G sharp. So this is another example of an imperfect plagal cadence.